All right, how's everyone doing? I am Rich CELENZA. Thanks for tuning into the Rich CELENZA Show. WTF are you talking about? Back on the road. Again, driving. I like to do these podcasts actually when I'm driving a lot of times if I'm not interviewing somebody. So what I want to get into today very quickly is something I'm going to call having unrealistic expectations when working out. And I know a lot of people, for some reason, think they're going to get all these type of results when working out. And the truth is you're not. That doesn't mean that you cannot go after your goals of working out or going after certain things. But you have to realize it's going to take time. And I don't know if you've heard of my podcast before, or even my program, Mastering Self-Confidence. I get into, and I actually get into it on my YouTube channel as well, how to gain or lose weight, how to quit bad habits. I talk about things much differently than others. Mine is taking the slowest approach possible. And I know people may think I'm nuts, but I believe the more consistent and slower you do anything, you're usually going to get the best results. That doesn't mean when I say slower, has to be slow motion. You know, I mean, you could look at it and I'm really the turtle that's going to win the race is what that type of mindset. Not where you come out blazing and shit just falls apart. Or you want to lose 50 pounds and you lose 20 in a month and all of a sudden it goes haywire, excuse me, and then you gain 10 of it back, lose another 5, gain 20 back, whatever the case may be. What we're looking to do is be consistent. I talk about losing a pound a month, even a pound a week, that type of things. You want to quit smoking cigarettes? We're only looking at, stopping 1 cigarette per week or 1 in a month. Taking it slow but consistent, getting your body and mind to adapt to the changes. Real quick pivots or changes sometimes work for certain people. Like my grandmother smoked for I don't know how many years, maybe 50 to 60, and got very sick. The doctor said, you keep smoking, you die. She says, I'm done. She was done. But before that, she couldn't. But I think it takes that trigger or something to say, holy shit, this is it. But a lot of people can't smoke. A lot of people can't quit smoking, can't quit overeating, can't stop themselves from doing what they keep doing, regardless if it's hurting them or not, right? Because you would think smoking, for instance, and I'm not against anybody who smokes. I grew up in an environment where everybody smoked, including all the nightclubs and bar business and family members I was around. Everyone smoked. So let's get back to fitness and having unrealistic expectations, because in my program, this is something I really get into. Even though the program is called Mastering Self-Confidence, it's geared around helping men find the woman or women of their dreams, even if they've been through a bad breakup or divorce. But I really get into fitness, hygiene in there as well, because that's one of my strongest components, I think, that information I can offer. I started working out at like 5 years old, no joke. Started hitting it pretty hardcore at about 12, 13, I don't even know. So, and never stopped working out, but that's mainly weightlifting and playing sports throughout my entire life. So I was obsessed with sports. And here's the thing. So let's get into this. And I goof around and I used to say, working out or doing things fitness related is a dumb man's game. And when I say that, people get offended. I'm like, no, I'm not saying people that work out are dumb. That's ridiculous. But, and again, don't take this in consideration. Take this in consideration, I should say. If you're training to be a professional athlete, this doesn't pertain to you. This is for the average Joe out there, okay? Because when we start talking about becoming a professional athlete or a collegiate athlete, even a high school athlete, somebody who's very serious about sports, wanting to get scholarships or make it a profession, much different than what I'm talking about here. And even back to the dumb man game, that's not what I mean. Because athletes, a lot of athletes, most are very brilliant at what they do, very strong mindset. Talk about mastering their self-confidence. But what I'm saying is a lot of people, when you go work out, whatever you decide to do, play it kind of dumb. Don't get so caught up in constantly thinking about everything you're doing. I've worked out with so many different types of people. I've worked out with a lot of dumb people, and I've worked out with some really brilliant people. And I know this sounds weird, but the simpler the person, or I shouldn't say the dumber, or the person that's not caught up in constantly thinking about every move they're making or every exercise they're doing, and if they're not doing it in a certain time, if they're not improving, if they're not moving correctly, are they not lifting enough weight? Are they lifting too many, not too many sets, not enough reps, vice versa? What type of equipment? Always thinking. Just do. Move forward. It was kind of like I said, like a child. You first learned how to crawl, then you're walking, then you're running. You just think about that. This is being the next step of working out. Now, a lot of what I'm going to be talking about is weightlifting, because that's what I think one of my specialties is. Even though I've done powerlifting, I play numerous sports, including football, baseball, basketball, tennis, and even including tennis. I went to Nick Voluntary Tennis Academy. I played it very seriously for a while. I wrestled. I don't know if I said that. Even I boxed. I don't know a sport I didn't do hockey. I don't like ice, and I'm afraid of the cold. I don't like cold weather. But I played on teams. My mother loved sports. She was putting me on sports teams starting at the age soccer. 5 years old, I think I started playing sports. I even played Pop Warner football. I was a running back and middle linebacker, so I've been obsessed with all types of things regarding fitness. And back to, you want to learn when working out, especially at the beginning. The best place I believe to work out or learn to work out is, besides watching YouTube videos now or reading about it, is going to the gym and watching people, or getting around somebody that has similar genetics that you have, or somebody who has a similar style body that you want to look like, or that the type of shape you want to get into, and ask them questions and kind of follow their lead, especially if you could find a partner, or if they will partner up with you. If you need a trainer and you want to spend the money doing that, God bless you. I don't necessarily think a lot of times you need a trainer for more than a couple weeks, especially now with YouTube again, Instagram, and all these other type of avenues that you can learn how to work out without having to spend a ton of money. You do have to stay focused though when you're working out. So, oh man, let me just get some juice there. So back to being dumb. Now you know what I mean. Like, now hopefully you have a better idea. When you get into the gym, for one is, you kind of got to have an idea what you want to do, and you want to get through it. Don't beat yourself up regarding if you're stronger that day, weaker that day, not as fast as you were before, not feeling it, or over anxious, or there's something else in your mind. All those things. All this is a workout. All you're going to be doing is going through certain movements repetitively. It's very simple. Okay? Very simple. If you look at, I'll just use weightlifting, curling. Sure, there's a certain way you want to turn your wrist when you become a little more advanced. There's a certain amount of, you want to keep your elbows in, hypothetically. You want to have a certain posture, you're not swinging. All those things. Do not get caught up with that shit at the beginning. You're going to make a lot of mistakes when working out at the beginning. Okay? And how you're gonna learn like anything else. It's like when you first started at your job. Can you imagine when you first started working compared to 6 months in or a year later? How different were you? How fluent were you? That's the same with working out. And I think a lot of people get too intimidated when it comes to working out. And again, by getting intimidated, they also start critiquing or dissecting themselves, saying, oh my God, I'm not getting the results because I don't know what I'm doing, or my mind's not in the muscle, or I'm not doing enough reps, I'm not doing enough sets, I'm doing too many reps, I'm doing too many sets, I'm not hitting the body part correctly, I don't have a trainer, my partner sucks, I don't know how to go to failure, I'm going too much to failure. I'm just riffing here so you get an idea. I'm just saying things that I think. So let's say you're a runner. Oh my God, my shoes aren't, are the shoes good for me? Oh, am I not stretching correctly? Why am I not improving on speed? Should I start, doing something else to improve? Should I start weight training? Am I lifting too many weights? Should I lose weight? Will that make me faster? Should I gain weight? Should I do my legs when I work out, or is it going to make me too sore? These are things that make us crazy. Okay? And you just got to understand, take the first few steps and just take your time. If you want to start becoming a runner, just start jogging. Don't get so caught up on the time. Of course you want to maybe, improve on your times. As time goes, of course you probably may want to run farther to challenge yourself. We get it. But you're not going to always get the results you want. It's not like every day you run, you're going to get faster. Every day you run, you're going to have better results. Every day you run, you're going to feel great. Not true. Okay, you're going to have good days, bad days. I talk about it in life in general, especially when working out. You're going to have good weeks, bad weeks, good months, bad months, good years, and bad years. I'm telling you right now. But here's the thing. A lot of times when you first start working out, you're starting to get pretty good results, or you're getting some type of results, right? That's usually the impact that you're going to get, because you went from nothing to something. It'd be like anything else, right? But what happens is, and I've talked about this a lot on my YouTube channel when I'm in the gym doing videos on fitness, is then things start to level off. And that's when you truly start to figure out who you really are. Do you really want to keep working out to push yourself to get in better and better and better shape, or maybe make a better and better time, or whatever you're doing? Because just like anybody else, it's not like you go in and say, I'll just use, for example, bench pressing. When you first go in there, you may only bench press 135 pounds, let's just say. And then in the first month, you may get up to, or a couple months, few months, 185 pounds. Wonderful. You may in 6 months get up to 225 pounds. Now, unless you start getting very serious, maybe even taking supplements, even steroids or whatever it is, you're going to level off. It's not like you're going to be hitting, well, you can obviously hit 315, you're going to go, but it's not like you're going to be bench pressing 700-800 pounds most likely, unless you're a beast, which is one in probably millions. You're going to hit that spot where, excuse me, you're going to level off. You're only going to be able to bench press this amount. And if you do make improvements, they're going to be very, very small improvements. So you may go up 5 or 10 pounds, and not like when you first began where you're like, oh my God, I'm going up 50 pounds this last month or two. Much different. So, again, having realistic expectations. And the thing is, you want to get in shape, and the most important thing is to maintain and be consistently in shape. It's not doing the seesaw back and forth. Not like, okay, I went to a gym this month, kicked it in the ass, took a week off, but I was back for the gym for 2 weeks. Then I had to take off 2 weeks. Then I went back for a month, but then I had to take a month off. And then I'm back for a week, and I had to take 2. I didn't feel good that week. All that shit sucks. You're confusing your mind and your body, and you're giving yourself an out. Which, if you want to do that, that's fine. But again, you have to be consistent, I believe, to get any type of results. I say it takes months, literally, to get in shape. Really, to get in great shape takes years. And it could take weeks to get out of shape. If you just start working out and you work out a month straight, you'll feel good. Take a week off, come back, see how it is. But again, don't let that get you down. I'm not saying that to bring you down. That doesn't mean you have to work out constantly. That doesn't mean that you can't take a week off either. But what it does mean is, the more consistent your approach is and realistic your approach is, the much better off you're going to be. You want to slowly start training your body and mind to say, I'm going to take on what I can handle and live and do this consistently and kind of live it. Not where it's kind of a fluke. As you know, a lot of people do these New Year's resolution bullshit things. And I don't know the stats. It's like 90-something% in 3 months quit when it comes to fitness or working out and things. Why? If you know in your heart you're going to quit most likely, you're not that interested, don't waste your time. But what I am going to tell you is the reason you probably keep quitting is you keep finding something that you're doing that you don't want to do. And that could be, in life general, a lot of people do that. If you don't like a gym, don't join a gym. Even if your friends are joining a gym, or even though you think, hey, maybe I'll convince myself. If you don't like weight training, then don't weight train. But if you like basketball, get off your ass, go join a league and play basketball. If you like swimming, I talk about it all the time in my YouTube videos again, find what you like. Then most likely, at least you have a shot at sticking with it. And even half the time that you'll quit. So even if you played volleyball in high school, or you like playing it at the beach or a picnic, I don't care, and you're like, you know what, I want to get in better shape. I hate running. I hate sweating. I'm just using for an example. I'm really not down with swimming. Weightlifting bores me, but I do kind of like when I go to the picnic, or I kind of like when I'm at the beach, we play some volleyball, that's kind of cool. Go play volleyball. First, even start for fun. Maybe not even jump into something serious like a league. Same with basketball. Go buy a basketball or go meet some friends, shoot around the hoop. You can do that for free outside, basically. Do something that you like to do. And a lot of times what's going to happen, too, is I'm going to tell you something. This happens to me. or used to happening. I played so many different sports that I used to think I liked everything. Then as I got older, I had no interest in playing almost all the sports. I had no interest, even boxing. I used to even like boxing. I wasn't even that good at boxing. I was much better at wrestling. I liked hitting the bag, the speed bag, and my buddy owns one of the top gyms in Chicago. My closest friend does. And I'll still go there, and I lift weights. When I punch, my shoulder hurts, my elbow hyperextends. I think it's because I'm middle-aged. I'm 50. I've been lifting weights so long that I've taken a toll on my tendons and joints, and I'm not nearly as good as I was, and I don't have a good punch anymore. I don't have the power, so I think it's mental. But my point being is a lot of times you may think you were good at something, or you did it when you're high school, college, or in your past, and you still like it. And racquetball and tennis was like that for me. And I'll still play if somebody wants to play racquetball or tennis, don't get me wrong, but I realized I hated racket sports, and I played a lot of tennis throughout my life. I don't know, I think I said this earlier. I went to even Nick Voluntary Tennis Academy, which is for extremely serious people. I was there when Agassi was there, Courier was there, a lot of other pros, and I liked it back then. Now when I go to play tennis or racquetball, I'm bored out of my goddamn mind. And I remember even when I was in my 20s, I lived in this really nice apartment complexes. We had racquetball courts. I was so advanced, I used to have to play with my opposite hand. I was a righty, so I'd play lefty with all my friends so we could keep it competitive and stuff. And I'm not saying that to toot my own horn. I just played so many sports with rackets, both racquetball, handball, and tennis. Now I want to kill myself. So a lot of times what you think you may like, you may not like, but you may discover you like something else. And you just never tried it. So, for instance, you may go to LA Fitness. That's one of my gyms. You may go in there to lift weights. Oh, man, this sucks. Go on a treadmill, man. I'm not feeling this. Elliptical, nope. Swimming, nope. Maybe I should try racquetball. Why not? Give it a shot. You know what I mean? Again, be realistic. Now, here's the thing, though. Back to being realistic. And I go through this with a lot of young guys. So I'm going on 50, and I know tons of guys in their 20s and 30s or whatever. They're always like, Rich, I want to be jacked. I want to get jacked like you. This is all I say to them. Lift weights. They look at me like I'm crazy. They're like, what? I'm like, lift weights. They're like, yeah, I got to lift weights. I'm like, yeah, common sense. If you want to grow your muscles and get bigger, for the most part, you're going to have to lift weights. Not every person genetically has to do that. You take somebody like Herschel Walker, who claims he just had to do push-ups, abs, and certain things, and he was just naturally jacked. Yeah, that's far and few between. If you want to build muscle, get stronger, you're going to most likely have to lift weights, right? Not everybody, again, you may play football or you may play other sports that do give you, make you jacked. I'm not saying, but this is for the average Joe, again, that's not doing a lot. So this isn't like an athlete coming to me and saying, I want to get jacked. But you got to understand, for you, somebody saying, you know what, I want to run. I hear this all the time, especially in Orlando. I want to run marathons. I want to run the Disney Marathon. I want to go to New York. And a lot of my buddies' wives run marathons. I'm not the guy. I know one guy. He's a boxer. I love that, out of Chicago. He runs the marathon, Boston Marathon, New York, I think. But a lot of the women I know do them. And they always talk about, because I live in Orlando, Florida, doing the Disney ones. They love running through the parks and all that. I was actually just talking to that with my girlfriend. They have smaller ones, which are 3 miles. Then they have like 16-mile runs, all different types of runs. They talk about wanting to do these. And you don't even have to run through all of them. You can even walk through them. But they talk about doing them. I'm like, then start training to do them, right? They talk about doing them. They never do them. And like I even tell them, you don't even have to run through the whole thing. Do a 3 mile, run for as much as you can, and walk the rest. Don't even worry about it. Just start. Do something. Right? And that goes for I learned that too with my cousin. He does a Tough Mudder in San Diego when I lived there. They asked me to do it. My cousin made a snarky comment, but he nailed it. He said, my cousin doesn't do anything that makes him dirty. I didn't realize that about myself. 100% correct. So I'm not going in the mud. But when he does it, he walks a majority of it because he can't physically keep up with the guys that are really, and I thought a Tough Mudder or even triathlete and stuff like that, when you're doing certain things, you just had to be full on, which most are. But a lot aren't. They're just there to try to get through it. And regardless who you are, sometimes you got to realize, again, with expectations, be realistic. But don't also let things intimidate you where you don't even try it. And one of the things I get in my Mastering Self-Confidence program is you've got to start having confidence in yourself. Don't also judge yourself to anybody in the world. We all live different lives. We all have different genetics. We all have different mindsets. We were all programmed differently. We come from different religious backgrounds or no religious backgrounds, different cultures, language. The whole thing is different. Stop comparing yourself even to your siblings, colleagues, or any of that shit. Just worry about yourself. All right? And don't bog yourself down with all the kind of the baggage. When people work out, a lot of times, they keep looking at all the things that they're not. Fuck that. Look at all the strengths you have. Right? You see people even in wheelchairs doing amazing things. You see people that don't even have legs from the military, what they can get accomplished. Or no arms, or no. There's all these people. There's ways of doing things. So if you don't have any major physical disability, and you're kind of still complaining, or you want to do something, you just don't have the nerve to do it, or you're afraid to do it, go do it. And I'm not telling you to go conquer your fears to say, hey, I always wanted to do be a triathlete, do something really crazy. Well, you know what? Just first start off small. Just start off walking maybe. Then jog. Then maybe if you're good at swimming, or maybe start off bicycling. Just kind of nudge your way into it. It doesn't mean all of a sudden you decide today, you know what? I'm going to run a marathon, a 10-mile marathon in 6 months. God bless you. If you start preparing and you need that and you go do it, that's great. But a lot of times if you're thinking of doing a marathon, just start running. Just say, hey, let me see, can I do 6 blocks today? In a month or whatever, can I do a mile? Start easing yourself into it. You're doing something and you're proving that you do have the endurance, and you'll start building up confidence slowly but surely. Instead of saying, hey, I'm going to go run 10-mile marathon. And the first week you go to the gym and you start running, you feel like you're going to have a heart attack. Then all of a sudden you think, oh my God, I got to change my diet. Oh my God, I got to lose weight. Oh my God, I got to buy these shoes. Or oh my God, how am I going to do this? You start freaking out. Then it's not that one, I'm going to do the next one. Then you quit. Don't do that to yourself, right? Fitness and getting in shape is supposed to make you feel good. And then hopefully it'll make you look good. I mean, it's going to naturally make you look good, but you're really doing it so you feel the best you could feel, right? And it's easier, I'm telling you, as you get older, and you don't have to be some star athlete. I think we're getting way ahead of ourselves with society. A lot of times you're seeing these guys on Instagram or in the cover of magazines, and it could be celebrities or athletes. You don't got to look like them. You don't got to work out like them. You don't got to eat like them. You're not them. If you want to get like them, God bless you. Don't get caught up in what they're doing. No one gives a shit. That's their life. You got to realize that's how they get paid. And a lot of them don't look like that all the time. Even bodybuilders, I used to think, wow, these guys are so jacked, they're ripped, this and that. And then I'd run into bodybuilders, I'm like, wow, he looks heavy. And then I didn't realize how much they dieted. Or how much, even boxers, like a lot of times you think they get in the ring, they're that shredded. And then you see them, I would see professional boxers, I'm like, Jesus Christ, is he out of shape? I'm not saying that he was fat or anything, but he was nothing like I thought he was year round. It's not like that for a lot of people. Even football, basketball, all different types of people. They're not always like that. Some are. Some stay in shape year round. Well, my point being is don't get caught up in what everybody else looks like, too. I think I even described a little bit of that earlier. And especially with eating habits, I talk about that too. Stop getting caught up in that. At the beginning, back up on your portions. Enjoy your meals right now, because if you think you're going to give up, you're going to start a huge fitness lifestyle, which if you do, God bless, but most don't. You're going to change your life by doing all these different types of workouts, changing your eating habits. I'm going to change sleeping patterns. I'm going to quit drinking. I'm going to quit smoking. I'm going to quit this. I'm going to do that and all that. You're just throwing all this shit on you. Probably 99% of the people who do that, it doesn't work out, I'd say. Very few. When you kind of just, again, progress into it slowly but surely, if you want to start working out, eating better, getting more sleep, just take it slow. Be consistent with it. Start learning what's working, what's not working with all of that, because, again, everybody has different lifestyles. It's hard for someone to even say, I'm going to start eating all this healthy food, because most people can't even afford to eat that healthy. That's the reality of it. I tell people all the time, you think you're going to be able to go to Whole Foods all the time, and you can go to Trader Joe's and other places as well to find, cheaper, healthier foods. I'm not saying not to eat healthy, But a lot of people see these people preparing these meals that they're seeing. They're not easy to make. They're not cheap, right? And they're not, it's not easy to be consistent with that, right? It's very hard. So you got to be, again, realistic about that approach, because I just see so many people fail at it. And then taking on too much is just too much. Just start with small steps. Remember, it's a dumb man's game. It's a joke, but just say, I'm going to move forward. And I goof around. I used to say this all the time, and people laugh. I go, just keep seeing yourself move forward. And again, if you're relating that to a gym, switch it up to do not become redundant, where it becomes so routine it exhausts you and bores you to death. And I think that's what happens to a lot of people in the gym. They either just keep doing the same body parts over and over again with the same type of equipment. Either they learn that from a trainer or a video. Start to experiment. Try all different types of things in the gym. There's tons of different equipment in there. All right? There's tons of different things you can learn. Just watch people, watch videos, read. As much as I think I know about fitness, I can't believe how much I don't know. I'll be in the gym and be like, holy shit, I can't believe I never seen that type of exercise. Holy shit, I never seen it done that way. I've never seen it done that way. Or, running is running. You get on a treadmill and you run. That's a little different. But you can go hiking or run in different areas to hopefully stimulate your mind and your body. Same with elliptical. Yeah, that does get a little redundant. I get it, like the row machine. What's that, the track rack? Whatever the hell they call it. But when it comes to working out with weights, be creative. I never do the same workout. I go in, I'll hit the body part. So if I'm doing chest and tries, I very seldom ever do the same workout. I do the same types of exercises, but in different ways even. But even sets, reps, I'm constantly switching it up, which I think helps me get the results. But I had to do that or I'll go crazy from working out so many years. I also have to work out in different gyms, which may be something you need to think about, because I think a lot of people do go to a certain gym and get bored. They keep going there month after month after month, and it just doesn't work anymore for them. Or you may be one of those people who has to go to the same gym, like the same person that likes to go to the same grocery store. You know where everything's at, you know what to expect, in and out, no problems. So I get that as well. But the trick is being consistent, being realistic, and please pay attention. If you do want to, I tell people, small things mean a lot of times. And mirrors lie to you, photos don't. I talk about that in my program, especially with style and all these different things. But if you're really looking to lose weight, gain weight, or get in better shape, take photos of yourself. Don't be ashamed. Don't be scared. Have someone take them of you, front, back, side. And in a month or whenever, take them again, and you will start to see the results hopefully you want. And if you're not getting those results, then you got to say, wow, what am I missing here? My workout, am I not burning off enough calories? Am I not going heavy enough? Am I going too heavy? Am I eating too much? Or whatever the case may be. You're going to see a true view of who you are and how you're progressing or degressing. Because a lot of times people, they degress. They think they're progressing and they don't. They think, oh man, I'm losing weight. No, you're not. I go to that with a buddy all the time. He always tells me he's losing weight. I'm like, no, you're not. You're actually heavier. Well, I'm getting more jacked. No, you're not. Your stomach's getting bigger. Not to throw that person under the bus, but you've got to be realistic. You may be lifting more weight sometimes, but he did it to look better. The truth is he's not looking any better. He's actually looking heavier. And it's not because he's putting muscle mass on either. I know the difference. So no, it's not that. And also, if you want to weigh yourself, that doesn't mean being obsessed weighing yourself in the morning, at night. Oh my God, I lost a pound. I gained 2 pounds. I lost 5 pounds. I gained 10 pounds. Whatever the shit may be. Every day you can do that. I'd recommend once a week. Or if you want to weigh yourself, every few days, but don't let it mess with your head. A lot of times people wake up in the morning like, oh my God, I'm still heavy. Or they're like, you're trying to put muscle mass on. Oh my God, I can't gain weight. Then at night they're getting on the scale. It ruins their night's sleep. They're thinking about I can't gain any weight or I'm not losing weight. Forget that shit. When you're going to bed, go to bed. Wake up. That's your weight. I weigh myself whenever. I don't have that type of issue. Nothing against it. I've just programmed my brain that my weight can fluctuate 5 to 7 pounds sometimes, just depending on the week I'm having. If I'm traveling, not. If I'm hanging out in a lot of Italian restaurants, eating a lot of pasta, or not. So, again, that's me. Alrighty, so where the hell am I at here? I don't want to get too long-winded. Holy shit, that's almost 30 minutes. But hopefully some of the things I'm telling you are going to help you. And if you want more information regarding this, you can, besides listening to my podcast, I have a YouTube channel, Rich CELENZA. I do a lot of videos in gyms talking about different things regarding fitness and different exercises and mindsets. And also, what else do I have? The program, Mastering Self-Confidence. I get into a lot of fitness, like I said earlier. That's also regarding hygiene and grooming as well, and how men should, I think, how to help, really take care of themselves overall, not just fitness-wise, but helping them from preventing getting sick, all these tricks of the trade on many different things. Like I said earlier, how to gain and lose weight, how to quit bad habits. One of them would be including smoking, or anything I get into regarding that. I also have, what am I on? Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram as well. But if you go to masteringselfconfidence.com, that's where you'll see my program. And if you could, just leave a comment wherever you hear my video, because it's being posted on numerous different places, or this podcast, I should say, and my videos. So, reach out to me. You can do that as well. I love to hear your thoughts, because if you agree or disagree with me, because I'm always open-minded to learn. Sometimes I flip things around. I'll be doing a podcast, and then in my mind say, I used to believe that. Now that I think about it, my mind's changed. So I believe in changing, pivoting, and making things hopefully better, especially when it comes to fitness. And I have to change because I'm getting older. So I've even realized this last month, me going on 50, my joints, I used to say my joints and tendons, which are starting to feel fine. But I'll tell you, my muscle mass and my strength is not what it once was. It's getting weaker and weaker and weaker, even though mentally I'm trying to not allow that. I'm like, fuck Father Time, but certain things are collapsing on me. So, not that I want them to, but maybe I got to start doing different workouts and trying different things, even though I'm always trying different things, if that makes sense. But now I have to try something new on that thing, if that makes sense, because I'm more of a weightlifter, and then I like to swim. I don't like to run. My knees, ankles, it's just my tendency. It's too many years, I think, of me playing sports, so it's very jarring when I run. I have no problem walking. I love walking everywhere. And like I said, I love swimming. I like the elliptical. It just gets a little boring. But I think I need to start figuring out other things, and maybe start going back to playing maybe some fun sports that I used to like to play. Maybe it is even going back and taking up tennis and getting some fluency and some just not beating myself up. And I think what happened with me is I'm very competitive. So when I play sports, I'm like a lunatic out there, where I can just go out there and enjoy playing it for the fitness aspect. And I think you may be one of those people where you are very competitive, and when you're playing a sport, say you're older now and you go play it, you're like, oh my God, do I suck? I can't even shoot a basketball anymore. I could barely do a layup. I can't jump. Or you may play tennis. You're like, oh my God, I could barely serve. Or all these different types of things. You got to realize as you're getting older, you have to evolve. And you're not going to be what you once were a lot of times. But, I heard this from Jane Fonda, not that I'm a fan of hers by any measures, but she said the older people get, they have to realize that they are not what they once were physically. You cannot always be who you were in the past, which makes perfect sense, but that doesn't mean to quit or to beat yourself up to keep being that same person. I think I went through that for many, many years, and I have friends that still want to bench press what they benched in their late 20s, mid-30s, but when it came to me, that's way out of line, because I became pretty damn strong in my 20s and 30s. There's no way I could bench 450 pounds like I used to for a few times, 315 for 10, rep out 500 pounds squatting like it was nothing. And those days, I lost those in my 40s. Those days went away because I just didn't have that strength. I mean, maybe if I got on juice and I started rapping, I could have maybe came back, but also was that helping me or hurting me? So when you're working out, please concentrate and make sure, back to consistency, but make sure you're not damaging yourself. Look at the future, because a lot of guys I see lift, especially in middle age, sometimes they've never worked out. They're trying to catch up with the young guys in the gym, or starting to get an ego. They start lifting weights. They're tearing their rotator's cuff. Well, I had that happen, but they're just setting themselves up for the future, just hurting themselves. And as you know, you see a lot of athletes, professional athletes, especially in their 50s and 60s, they're destroyed. They can't even get out of bed. They look like a train ran over them. You want to start working out, regardless what age, for longevity, so you can keep working out. You don't want to hurt yourself where something goes wrong where you can't walk fluently or correctly, or you damage your knee or damage your ankles, you hurt your hands, you hurt your wrist, all these different types, you hurt your back. So you don't want to do those things, all right? All right. I'm going to wrap it up there. Hopefully something you got out of this. What else? That's it. All right. If you're traveling, safe travels. And again, check out all my stuff. And if you get a chance, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm always forgetting to mention that if you get a chance to check that out. All right. Take care, and I wish you nothing but the best.